Ready? Today's episode of The Arbour Effect is dedicated to Charlie Kirk and anyone from any religious, political, racial, or any other group who's brave enough to speak their mind, tell the truth, and have honest conversations with other people in hopes that we can all learn together. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be hard. Nicole, get mad. Don't get sad. Get mad. Urgh. Okay. I don't want to be crying. I've been so angry for days. I'm about to celebrate 10 years of being viral. 10 years I've been online and been viral. And you know how hard it was at the beginning? When you're starting a business of any kind, there's so much to think about. I was like, I have to buy lights. I had a singular ring light. I didn't even know how to use it. I need a camera. I'm going to need some kind of mic. I got to edit. I need a computer. I have to learn how to do YouTube. I didn't know what a YouTube was. It's hard. So if there's anything that can help make your business run smoother at the beginning, like Shopify, you should get it. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel, Barbie's Home, and Gymshark to brands like you. Just getting started. Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Wow! Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Create easy email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping and processing, returns, and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 a month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Arbour. That's shopify.com/Arbour. Shopify.com/Arbour. I love you and appreciate you, Shopify, for sponsoring me, but it's a little heavy today, you know? I just feel a little heavy. I want to get into what we're talking about. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Obviously, what's happened is disgusting. It was shocking. It was everything. I went from tears in my eyes and crying to, like, just especially for his kids that were there, and just upset to just, it's been hard to, like, not just be in rage the last few days. Just in rage at, like, seeing people and their thoughtlessness, like, cheering it on and realizing how sick the world has gotten over the last 10 years and how that's just, like, it's just not okay. It's not okay. Like, it's been like this, but it's more rage now. And I think it's not like I want to aim rage at anybody. It's more, it's time for the righteous people to stand up. Like, it's enough. We've had enough now. It's enough. I'm about to celebrate 10 years of being online and being viral. And me personally, for the last 10 years, people have made up absolute crazy stories about me. Just complete lies. They've said things about me like racist and homophobic, or you filed these fake charges, or you did this, or you did that. And not a single thing they said is true. And then for me to see posts celebrating someone getting shot and murdered in front of their family, and they're justifying it by calling him those same names that they call me, the same lies they tell about me, they tell about that man. And I spent probably an hour and a half last night, scrolling through as many clips as I could of Charlie Kirk, trying to find what these disgusting haters were saying about him. Trying to find a soundbite. Someone was like, oh, well, he said if his daughter gets raped or something, he's making her have a baby. It's like, he didn't just say that out of nowhere. I found the clip. It was from a debate. And this woman was trying to set up this really weird situational thing. And he answered her question honestly. Do you think people who get raped should get to have abortions? And he's like, no, I don't believe in abortions. And she's like, well, what if your daughter was raped, or your 10-year-old? He's like, that is very graphic. That is a weird way to go with this. And she's like, yeah, well, that happens to people. So what would you do? What would you make your daughter have a baby if she was raped? And he's like, it is my personal conviction. He wasn't even rude slightly once. It is my personal conviction that I don't believe in abortion. And yes, I would have my daughter deliver the baby and we would work through it. Do I necessarily agree with that? No. But did he say, oh, if my daughter's raped, I'm going to... No, people just lie. They just lie. I tried to find him saying something racist. I couldn't find it. I tried to find him saying something hateful against gay people. I couldn't find it. He had Jillian Michaels as a keynote speaker. Jillian is married to a woman. Jillian, if you didn't know, is also a woman. That was a keynote speaker at one of his events recently. A big, butchy, dyke, lesbian fitness lady who has a wife on his main stage. There's every little bit of evidence to show he's none of the things, Nazi or all these things that people said about him, and yet he was shot and killed. And it's because of fucking people that write these things. They're the new terrorist. People who say these things to me are terrorists. And I firmly think we've gotten to the point where Donald Trump needs to make a new law, where if you call someone a racist, a homophobe, Islamophobe, against trans people, any of these slurs, Nazi, all these things that are just hurled, only seems to be hurled at Christians, might I add, that if it cannot be proven without the shadow of a doubt that that person is in fact what you just called them, you are charged criminally. It needs to be a hate crime because it is resulting in violence. And I just don't have any tolerance for it anymore. I used to be like, they're just crazy people writing these lies about me. There's this writing this about him. They're this writing this, because they rotate the same frickin' slurs over and over. It's always racist, homophobic, xenophobic, this. Oh, maybe you're anti this, you're anti... And none of it is ever true. It's not ever true. There needs to be a law. And I know someone's going to be like, oh, but what about the First Amendment? There's already laws against libel and slander. And this needs to go in the same vein as that, but not in civil court. This needs to be an actual law because it is out of hand. This is like the witch trials now of Salem. And if the witch trials of Salem taught us anything other than something absolutely horrific that happened in history can be turned into a very profitable tourist town, which is kind of weird when I think about it, but it was a lot of fun to visit during the Halloween season. This stuff is serious. It's serious. And you shouldn't just be allowed to call people these names that are inciting violence and vitriol, like really especially violence against people. And it's lies. So that's what I think. I think this is my first point of this video, is I firmly believe that it's time for Donald Trump to put out a law, a new law, a law we've never had before. It is not against the First Amendment. It is against lying with the intent of having violence inflicted on someone. It is no different from the witch trials of Salem. Someone says you're a witch and you kill them. Now it's you say someone is a racist, homophobe, bigot, Nazi, whatever it might be, and there's violence against them. This is what's happening. Either they're losing their jobs, they're losing their careers, they're losing their lives, they're losing something because of lies that are being made up primarily from a group of people that like to call themselves tolerant and loving. And it's just not the case. It's just not the case. It's not tolerant and loving. You guys are just full of shit and trying to check boxes off a list so you can seem inclusive when you're the least inclusive. Because if you were inclusive, you would include everybody. Which takes me to my next point. First of all, I'm not a red pill. I think it was actually an interview I did years ago with Dave Rubin, and he's like, so you're not a liberal anymore, you're a conservative. And I was like, well, I seem to agree with a lot of things you're saying. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a red pill. I am Nicole Arbour, always have been, and I always will be until the day of my wedding. And I just believe what makes sense. If you say something to me and that's rational, that is now what I agree with and I believe. And I am Christian. I've never been like one side or the other. But there's this like need for one side of America to hate you if they think you're from the red side. I don't see that from big Go Team Red. I just don't see it. In 10 years, I haven't seen it. The side that says they're tolerant is completely non-tolerant of any idea that is not on their list of approved ideas that aren't even theirs. There's studies coming out now that most college kids are scared to say what they actually think because they don't want ramifications from their college professors who are like super over the top liberals. That's not a First Amendment country anyway. You don't have the First Amendment in America anymore because if you say what you think, you might get canceled. You might get shot at. You might get hurt. Like, it doesn't exist anyway. So I just wanted to say that. When someone was in a meeting the other day and they were like, oh, describe Nicole. And they were like, I think she's pretty right leaning. And what are you talking about? What I don't even know what right leaning means. I'm right. I'm just correct. Is that what you mean? Like I'm generally correct when I talk? Cause usually I am. Okay. So here's a story and this is something that I'm going to talk about a couple things that pissed me off. Here's something that pissed me off that happened earlier yesterday. Someone who follows me on social media, they said they followed me for a long time. A man with a wife and a kid in his little photo. He has a private profile. He wrote to me and he's like, Nicole, it's time. We need you to go dig deep into this and find out what actually happened and make sure you use your platform and tell the world what actually happened. And, Charlie was shot, so now it's your turn to step up and do it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, fuck off. You do it. You do it. Why is it me, big giant man? Why is it my job to go dig and stand up when you don't even have the balls to have a public profile? You expect me and other people in the media, comedians, influencers, whatever, to always put ourselves out there and always stand in the line of fire, verbal and or other. But you won't even make your profile public. He's like, well, I don't want the attention and stuff. I don't have a lot of followers. No one's going to see it. I started with 0 followers too. We all start with 0 followers. And then we were just brave enough to say the truth or be funny or put out dance videos or whatever. We were all brave enough to be heckled where you're not. And now I've already been braver than most people have in their lifetimes. You expect me to be even more brave and put myself in probably harm's way to dig into things that are I don't know. What does that even mean? Where am I going to go dig? I have to do investigative journalism now for you because you're too lazy to do it yourself? No. If you guys want to find something out, go look it up yourself. Make your own fucking YouTube video. Make your own Instagram posts. The time is now for everybody to do this. Stop being cowards. Stop expecting somebody else to speak on your behalf. Do it yourself. We can join as groups, but I'm not going to stand there and do it for you when you can do it too. Make your damn profile public, you coward. He's like, oh, Nicole, this is how you built your following. No, I built my following being funny and telling the truth. That's how I built my following. And I know, and being motivational. It's not from like digging into the FBI and trying to find shit out. What are you even talking about? People have gotten a level of crazy now that's just like out of hand. I also just want to say that punishing people for having opposing political views to you does in fact make you a terrorist. Like that's kind of like the definition of a terrorist. That is what terrorists do. So if you're trying to like literally physically injure or harm in any way someone because they think differently than you, you're a terrorist. And we just need to call this shit out. Oh, the tolerant left does not exist. I've never experienced it. Like ever. And I was like, I wasn't just a liberal. I was like, had the pin registered Liberal Party of Canada for years, was going to like get into politics and they were trying to breed me to be the next prime minister and go into the Liberal Party and be an MP and all that stuff. And I'm just like, this group of people in Canada and America hates everybody. They hate everybody. I think they hate themselves the most, to be honest, because they've created a cage themselves that they now have to live in. They're like stuck in it. It's like, I can't say this. I can't say that. I'll be canceled. Cancel them. Witch hunt. Like they fucked themselves. Yes, I know that Charlie is already in heaven. I don't even have a single question about that. Like, I know this. I know this to be true. Doesn't make it less sad and shocking. Just like all the people writing that he deserved it. I now have 0 tolerance for you people. And seriously, unfollow me. Unfollow me. If you think Charlie deserved that in any way, I want nothing to do with you in my life, ever. Nothing to do with politics. I just think you're gross, and I don't want you in my field of the world. Now, to this last thing that happened this week. I was speaking with a CEO, a large CEO. She's been featured in Forbes a lot. She was speaking at an event for Forbes, I believe, today. And we were talking about, she was saying that she can't have her business tied to any influencers or celebrities who don't seem neutral. So personalityless is really what that means. That's not what it means. Let's be real. What that really means is that no one can seem like they're a conservative or like if they're a Christian. That's what that means right now. Neutral means they better align with what the left says. And that's not my opinion. That's just what it means. If you actually wanted to be neutral, all brands should be neutral. All brands should, I think, just be like even keel, let everyone have their own opinion. Like on religion or race or sexuality or whatever. Why is your brand even getting involved in that kind of stuff? Like brands shouldn't, I don't think, get involved in those things. But I was just so blown away that this apparently very intelligent woman was like, my brand has to stay neutral when that really meant has to stay to the left. It's bigoted to not include the other half of your country. That is what bigotry is. That is being non-tolerant, not just supporting every kind of creator or celebrity or whatever equally is intolerant. And these buzzwords get brought up like, oh, we have to be tolerant. We have to be tolerant. Cool. Then be tolerant of everybody's opinions. Someone can be gay and someone's allowed to say they think being gay is against their religion. That is neutral. And you can work with both of them. That's what neutral is. If you don't work with the person who it's against their religion to be gay, then you are now the bigot. You're the problem. You have to let both of them exist. Like someone might cover their hair because that's their religion, and someone might have their hair waving. Neutral is working with both of them, not getting rid of the girl with her hair out because it might offend that one. We can't do this shit anymore. Like the irony of Turning Point USA being the name of Charlie's company and movement, and this really feeling like a turning point is not lost on me. When this is clearly a turning point for the country, it is clearly, like, I can feel it. People who are Christians are sick of this shit. The people who might be right-leaning, center-leaning, or just on the left and just not pieces of shit are just sick of it. Like, just civility. Just be nice to people. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to be like, I'm on this team, I'm on that team. You could just be a good person. That should be an option. But we haven't made it one anymore. And the result is someone getting shot and psychopaths online cheering for it. Psychopaths, teachers saying it's okay in classrooms. I watched videos of professors and teachers in public schools saying that it's a good thing he got shot, he deserved it. You're a psychopath, you need to go to an asylum, you're gone. You are gone. But if someone says, I have a different religion than you, that's fine. That's what neutral is. If America's supposed to be the place where everybody can come and be themselves and it's the big melting pot, then you gotta let people be themselves. If that guy can wear a dress and pretend that he's a lady today, then this person can wear their cross and say, I think that's freaking weird. And they're allowed to say they're weird too. That's what equality is. It's not punishing one group of people for having opposing views. It doesn't make any sense. After having that chat with that CEO, I don't think I could, in good conscience, work with her company. I just think her company is valueless. If you punish and won't work with people who may have opposing views to you and call that being neutral, that's not being neutral. And the last thing that America needs is another cowardly CEO who won't stand up for what's right, just make money. This may come as a shock to you, but 50% of America voted red. Over 50% voted red. Half of America, that's a lot of buying power, is red. If you're just thinking in terms of money, why wouldn't you want the whole pie? Why are you trying to just cater to one group of people and exclude the whole rest of them? These are my thoughts today. I'm mad. This isn't the podcast I want to do, obviously, but I just feel like the beast that was unleashed 10 years ago is about to come back, and they better be fucking scared. Because if you thought I was offensive last time, your head might explode this time. Thanks for watching. Keep laughing. Be good to each other in real life. And until next time, go team. Good timing. You killed one soldier and you woke up an army.